So, right, I'm going to punch out boxing. I'm delighted to be here with the Jedi himself, Matt Floyd, one of the hardest working men in the game. Matt, you are just about accepting every opportunity across multiple boxing platforms. But first of all, how are you? Back in Perth, I believe.
Right now, I'm here. I'm just here for like another few more days, and then I'll be back again.
Hmm.
It's a pretty torturous trip, but I've done it. You know what? 3 times now this year. I did Turkey in December, so it's been like 4 times in the last probably 6 months or something. Um, but you get used to it, man, and you just like kind of zone out.
Yeah, I guess after three, 4 times that 20-hour flight, you can get used to it
It's,
eventually.
it's a bit longer.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's just been announced you have got this massive debut in bare knuckle boxing against the former world champion James DeGale, 27th of September, Manchester Arena. It's going to be massive. Before we go on to that, I just want to recap. Was it a month ago you was at the O2? I know you spoke to my colleague Aisha. That was a great experience for you to fight the legend himself, Shane Mosley. Yeah, tell us about that experience. Obviously, one of the greats, even at his advanced age. Tell us how is it like being in the ring with him?
Yeah, he was still great. I mean, he had an 8 pack. I don't know if you've seen the physique of the guy. His sparring partners were, people like Devin Haney and things like that, and people were all talking about him being, as good as he was back then. Um, it was a real emotional experience to me. He was one of my first heroes. I met him when I was like younger, by accident, and yeah, so it felt like when it happened, it was always meant to be. He was like real respectful, like the whole way and afterwards. Even like when we were about to do the face off, he could see that it was a bit emotional for me, more because of my story and everything I've been through.
Mhm.
And like I had trouble with my jacket, for example, and he like sort of helped me with it and gave me a pat. And like that was before we were about to square off. Like not before the fight, like in the like the standoff, like days before, whatever. But just things like that, and he showed a lot of respect. Even after the fight, straight away, you could see he was genuinely happy for me. I mean, he wanted a fight. That was supposed to be the fight to get him Manny Pacquiao, and he was more happy for me. I mean, it would have been, afterwards probably upset, disheartened about Manny Pacquiao, but in that moment, he was genuinely happy. And even since, like I've spoke to him and people since, and he's still genuinely happy, for me. So yeah.
All right, fantastic. I wonder, did he remember you from that childhood meeting that you had?
He remembered a kid, like, because I've always been persistent, like how I am now, and got to where I've got to. And when I was a kid, he was sparring like the pros, the older boys. I was only a kid, and he could see me staring and staring and looking at him and looking at him, and he could see I wanted to get in there. And at the end of it, he had sparred like three or four of the boys. He's like, "Come on, then jump in." He looked at me and he smiled, and I jumped in. Um, so he remembered that. He said, "I remembered like a kid that was, like sort of pestering me to." Um, and that so, but he didn't obviously like we didn't stay in contact. I actually spoke to his son about it a couple of years ago. I became friends with his son over social media and things like that because he's a boxer as well and that, and we spoke about it and things like that. So yeah.
All right, fantastic. Great experience, as you said. And what about the whole event? I mean, the experience of fighting at the O2, like obviously one of the big arenas, best arenas in the UK.
Yeah, it was a good arena, and I had my own room and everything. It was a bit of a rocky experience. There was a few issues. Like all my fights, there's always issues. I've never had a fight where I haven't had a niggly injury or an issue, but I guess that's every fighter. But it feels like it all depends on me almost. Like literally the night midnight the night before the fight, I was told the fight was off. That's how bad the issues were. And then, that morning the fight was on. Imagine getting ready for a fight and getting told, that's sort of how it was. And a lot of it felt like a lot of um yeah, pressure was on me as well. But I mean, it all went all right in the end. I mean, the main thing is the fight went well, and I had the fight, and and I overcome everything again. Um, it was. I reckon the people. I mean, it was probably about 50-50, like the support there and things like that. And that was quite nice because I had like Irish people there, people from the UK. Like I'm building a fan base over there. Like my mother's from Ireland, and also in the UK and that. You know, against Shane Mosey, one of the greatest. I thought everyone was going to be there, screaming at me and things like that. But it was pretty like, you know, even like it was pretty good atmosphere in the end.
Fantastic. And I imagine being at an arena like that, it's whetted your appetite, and hence you've now here you are in another big event. So yeah, tell us how the opportunity to make your bare knuckle debut come about.
Um, there's been quite a few opportunities for big fights right now. This was about 6 weeks. This was before the Mosley fight. I was supposed to fight Aaron Chalmers in Perth. That got scrapped. They didn't do the event, and then I stayed in touch. I've obviously got you know, like a friendship with Connor and his team now as well. Like he's um, I'm close. You know, it's funny. Boxing brought me back to my family. My mother's from Crumlin. I didn't. I have this half of the family that don't even know I exist, and I didn't go there to meet family. I met them through like boxing brought me back to them by accident, and that you know I got close with Crumlin. That's where Connor's from, you know, and things like that. And Connor obviously owns BKFC, so there's influence there as well, where he wanted me to be on it and things like that. So it was a bunch of things, but I said yes to the DeGale fight. I think like 6 weeks ago, like weeks before the Shane Mosley fight. Now I don't really. I mean, it's a great. I mean, you know, it's the fastest growing sport, probably one of the biggest shows at the moment, BKFC, and I'm the main event, you know, in UK. So it's crazy. It's a massive thing. It's huge, but it's you know, like I'm probably a better bare knuckle fighter than I am, um, you know, like anything really. But I'm really trying to, you know, I still think I'm a great boxer. I still think I beat the best in the world in boxing, which is what I'm trying to do. Which is I was staying down that route, and which is why I wanted to stay away from this. But it just all happened, I guess, and it's against like a you know, like an Olympic boxer, a two-time world champion, like a great boxer. So for me, it was the closest. Like this is you know, he's the greatest. You know, Shane apart from Shane Mosey, but today he's obviously the same age as me. This guy, and you know, he's a great. So for me, I wanted to do it for that side of things. Once again, for boxing, but I've got a massive advantage over him now. Like, because it's hard to say I'm doing it for boxing because it's so different. Like bare knuckle and boxing are two different sports. I know that because of the way I've grown up. I've had plenty of street fights. Not that they're the same because you got two of the highest level people going bare knuckle. You know, on the street when you're younger and that it's not the same. You know, you're not. You know, it's different when it's. And I understand all that, but it's a complete different game, different sport, and I'm very aware of it. Um, so yeah, but I think it's going to be fine. Obviously, like I'm very, very confident in what this is. And yeah, I think James DeGale is going to be very, very, very worried because I mean I know he's worried. He's seen all the comments where they're all saying bare knuckles not the same as boxing, and I think he knows my background. It's a very dangerous fight for him. I don't know. He must be getting paid a fucking shitload of money. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, I'm curious about that because we've seen quite a few ex-pro boxers. Some of them have even been more recently active, go into bare knuckle, and several of them got ironed out. So, as you said, it's clearly
Yeah.
very different.
A good boxer going in will beat anyone. Like will beat like someone that hasn't done any training or fighting or anything like that. But someone like me with fighting and boxing. I mean, when I fight, my biggest issue when I fight, my whole team, they try and like when we're fighting the lesser experienced guys, they're trying to get me to get the rounds out, and they want me to really box and box and box because they all think I'm a great boxer. I am a great boxer when I want to box, but the fight in me comes out a bit. And if you've watched my fights, you'll see that. And my team are always in the side like fucking. They're trying to get that out of me as much as they can. That's probably one of the biggest things that we have, you know, going
Mhm.
on. So this is just going to be complete natural for me. Like me, it's just gone straight to my instinct straight away.
What's the difference in preparation for a bare knuckle fight compared to a conventional boxing? Because I presume you aren't sparring and what have you, bare knuckle, are you?
I am, but like other people don't. It's not. You don't. I shouldn't be advising. I wouldn't advise anyone. If I had a fighter under me, I wouldn't let them do it. But I'm my own. You know, like I don't. I never listen to my advice or anything. Anyway, I know that how to train for this. I feel like a boxer wouldn't know how to train for it. I've got like I know exactly what I'm going to do to the point where I'm happy to tell him, what I'm going to do because there's not much he can do to stop it. So it doesn't really bother me. I've already told his manager what I'm going to do. I've told the promoter what I'm going to do, like, because there's nothing he can do to stop it. The training is I'm just training. Literally, I'm just mimicking what I'm going to do. It's 5 2-minute rounds. I'm at 12. I normally train for 12 3-minute rounds. So I'm just doing real explosive stuff to retrain my brain all day, every day. I'm just doing real explosive stuff because that's how I'm going to fight. You have to be first in bare knuckle. You can't fuck around. I mean, I can be 100% confident and do everything right, and I can still lose. Anyone can lose because a little hit, a little chip, even if he threw it accidentally, can end the fight. So it's anyone can. So people say that in boxing, anything can happen, but it's a lot more different in bare knuckle. Anything can really happen in bare knuckle, like even more than boxing by far.
Is it fair to say, are the punches more effective bare knuckle? I always thought it was the other way around, that with the gloves you can punch harder because you got the protection for your knuckles.
No, the punches hurt obviously a lot more with bare knuckles, so you don't have to throw a punch like a bot. You just got to like poke your punches out. You don't need to throw like a you don't throw like a boxing punch. If you threw like a boxing punch and you miss or you caught wrong or hit him on the wrong place at the head, you're going to break your hand no matter what because you've trained. You have to untrain that. You can't really throw punches like that unless it's like it's a perfect clean 100% punch. You got to punch differently. You got to throw different sort of punches. Yeah, I probably won't say too much about that, but it's pretty. Yeah, I think people that have seen me when I'm like wild and I start fighting, they sort of know that's all they're going to see for this fight.
Yeah, as you said, it's the fastest growing sport, I guess, because it does mimic a street fight more, much more accurately. As you said, the damage is pretty conclusive when it lands. Um, yeah, so you're saying, James, is you don't think that boxing pedigree would really
It's
come
not
in
going to
with
help
much
him. It's
use?
not going to help him at all against me. It's not going to help him at all against me. It might. It would. He'd beat like most people in a street fight and a bare knuckle fight that don't know how to fight.
Hmm.
But it's just like, yeah, it's not going to help him anyway with me at all.
So, and of course, as you said, Aaron Chalmers, he's on the same card, isn't he? You're going to take the opportunity to stir a little bit of needle there to
Nah, I want.
continue it.
He's on the undercard. I'm the main event. Not that it's how it works. I understand this game. That's not that way. But I'm definitely looking for bigger things after this. I'm already in the talk. I'm already speaking. I've already maybe got a bigger thing lined up in the next day after this fight. So I'm definitely looking for bigger things. I mean, if they offered me a fucking something crazy for Aaron Chalmers, then of course, but that's not going to happen. I just know how this all works now. I'm a very fast learner. But I'd wanna after I beat DEGALE, I'd want to fight. Someone. It would have to be a great fight, definitely in bare
Yeah.
knuckle. But yeah.
So, are you looking to sort of move between like the three codes, bare knuckle, pro boxing, the misfit stuff? Is it? Are you going to move through all three depending on the opportunities?
If they look after me and do the right thing, like how they're grooming this all around James, this fight, this thing,
Mhm.
like they've given him everything. If they look after me after this, and I'll do the right thing by whoever does the right thing by me, absolutely. Um, but I've already got. I'm speaking, yeah, like I've got a point to prove in boxing. Like I believe I've won all my fights. I believe I'm an undefeated boxer. And I believe I can beat the best in the world in boxing, and I've got a point to prove. So I want to do that now. So I want to fight the best in the world in boxing because I feel like I can do that. Bare knuckle is definitely tailor made for me. I'm a very stubborn person. My mind's set on having to show the world that I can beat anyone at boxing, anyone in front of me. I want to show myself. But everyone that knows me, every proper coaches that have been around have said to me for a long time, bare knuckles made for me.
Mhm.
Um, it is made for me. I don't think there's anyone in my division that will beat me in a bare knuckle fight, but I've got a point to prove. We'll just see what happens. You know what I mean? Like I don't. It's a hard one for me. My heart was set on the boxing thing. I was staying away from this, but this has happened, and I'm made for it. But it's like I think I'm. I think when I just box and I don't let the fighting come into it. I use it like when it's needed and things like that. If I do it properly, I think I'm more so, I'll beat anyone in boxing in the world as well as that. So yeah.
All right. Any hints that you can give us or about what this potential big opportunity is?
Then yeah, I've been like, I've been chasing, I've been chasing, I've been talking to, yeah, I've been chasing the names for a bit. Um, it's up there, there's only a few names out there, really, isn't there? Like the main ones, and I'm
Mhm.
talking to them about fighting them. So I will land one of these. There's two names, there's two people. There's one that I've been chasing already, who I don't really care whether he accepts or not because like, I feel like I'm doing bigger and better things anyway. And then the other name's probably the biggest name you can get today, apart from Jake Paul. But Jake Paul can't fight this guy at the moment for whatever reason. So
Interesting. Very
mm.
interesting. Well, we'll have to keep our ear to the ground on that. Um, all right. Well, I mean, it's been fascinating again. I mean, this fight with DeGale, it's gonna tell a lot. Could never have imagined DeGale would come back for this, but the lure of fighting.
I still can't imagine he's going to come back for it. I don't actually think he's going to make it in the ring. But anyway,
Let's keep fingers crossed because it is absolutely an intriguing fight. And w when are you flying back? You say just in a couple of days you'll be back in the
yeah,
UK.
I should be there. So I was supposed to be there for Misfits. I was supposed to be there, but I've got I've got a few things going on back like home at the moment, so I had to stay. They all think I'm coming still, so I have to let them know I'm not coming. Um, but I wanted to come to that, like, and come there and support Darren and be there with him and that. But
Mhm.
I can't. I've got stuff going on here, which I haven't even. I was supposed to leave last a few days ago already, and then each day by day I was coming, but I just couldn't. So I will be there next week.
All
I
right.
think in a few more days I'll leave again. So I'll be there probably next week. So I got to go to it takes a while to get there, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Where
Yeah,
were you were going to set up camp, by the way?
I'll do a bit in Crumlin and then in Liverpool at the Hangers Gym.
Okay, all right. Keep-
They've actually got another bare knuckle fighter there that's fighting on my undercard. So Mickey, and yeah, so he's already had a few bare knuckle fights and they're getting ready for a bare knuckle fight. So it's just perfect.
All right, fantastic. All right, Matt, always a pleasure. Great to see you getting these good opportunities.
Thank
Anything
you.
you want to add?
Nah, it's all good, man. Thanks for having me again.
Pleasure's all mine. Yeah, all right, fans, keep that date in mind. 27th of September, exactly a month today, Manchester Arena. What will James DeGale run into when he fights the Jedi, Matt Floyd? Thanks for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, man. May the force be with you.